Hello, hello. Thank you so much for coming out on Melbourne winter morning. For those of you who have worked with us at Venues to Events, welcome. Thank you so much for coming along. And for those who are new to Venues to Events, welcome as well. I hope that you can take away a couple of hints and tips today that will help you win more business and fill your function space. For those who I haven't personally met, my name's Kim Hesse and I'm the founder of Venues to Events, my little baby that was created about 13 years ago. So really quickly as an overview, Venues to Events has three arms to what we do. We have our online venue directory and our Black Book of Events magazine that's on your chair. So basically that arm of the business helps event planners, EAs, PAs find the perfect venue for their event. We're also PCOs as well, so we manage 5 to 6 conferences a year. We don't overload our team too much. We sit around the 250 mark for conferences across 4 days, so sort of national conferences, internal conferences for the corporate market. And then I also train in-house EAs, PAs and event planners on how to run their best event ever as well. So I thought I'd kick off this session by telling you a little bit of a story. Now you may have heard it, but I think it's definitely worth hearing twice. It's called I Am a Venue Manager. I am a venue manager. I have unlimited resources at my disposal. I always keep at least 10 meeting rooms under my desk, and I can make any of my rooms larger or smaller depending on your program needs. I will naturally remove any supporting pillars from your meeting space and install windows in every room as needed. Unfortunately, that ocean view is not scheduled to arrive until day 2 of your program, for which I sincerely apologise. However, I will move the venue 2 feet to the left to accommodate your request by the end of day 1. Although I realise your event is only next week. I can only throw myself on your mercy and grovel at your feet. I completely agree that it is inconceivable that any other group should be booked into the venue during your event. And the additional breakout rooms you asked for this morning for tomorrow's conference will be added to the hotel by the end of the day. Unfortunately, due to space constraints and the fact that the final program bears no resemblance whatsoever to the initial program we contracted the space under, I'll have to suspend the lunch buffet from the ceiling above the plenary and suck the gravity out of the ballroom. Not a problem. I've located those boxes that the sponsors sent last month under their mother's maiden name to the other hotel down the street. And again, I apologise for not having found them sooner. In answer to all your questions, it is of course understood that I am telepathically aware of all of your speaker needs, and I'll set up dual slide projectors, 2 screens, laser pointer podium microphones, 2 tabletop microphones, a timer, and blue and M&Ms, which I've negotiated at no extra charge, just in case they're needed. Additionally, it goes without saying that an AV technician, engineer, babysitter, and I will be underneath your head table for the duration of your event in case you need anything else. It's been great working with you on this event and every other one just like it, and I can't wait for the next one. I think that's just a light-hearted way to encapsulate what it's like to work in events sometimes, yeah? Yeah. So today, how to get inside the minds of conference organisers. Now I know we're rare beings, we love detail, right? So today's presentation, I'm going to be bringing in the perspective of corporate event planners. So we have thousands of them visit our website all the time, and we train in-house EAs, PAs, so I'm going to be bringing their perspectives into this presentation and bringing you their real ideas and what they're saying about venue proposals and site inspections as well. So we're going to cover how to increase your leads via your website and online directories, why some of your advertising might not be getting great ROI and what we can do about that, how to handle inbound inquiries that are going to result in event bookings, how to write a winning proposal that appeals to us detail-oriented event planners, and also how to run a killer site inspection that will help you convert leads. Now I'm going to be sharing my slides with you, but feel free to take notes, take photos, whatever you like. So let's get started. Venue searching. We did a survey of event planners and we said to them, when you're searching for a venue, where do you go? What do you do? 80% online is the first place that they go. Others love their own contacts, so people that we've met in the industry. Referrals are great, so they're asking friends and colleagues, do you know a venue? Do you have a referral for me? Convention bureaus came up a little bit when we're in different destinations, and also for mills and site inspections you can put into this barrel as well. First-hand experience was really valuable when selecting a venue. When we're in what I call venue hunting mode, we have one question in our mind: is this the perfect venue for my event? And when we're talking to the EAs and PAs, the things that they're looking for online before they even contact you are your images, is number one. They want your photos. They want your capacities, so they want to know what your minimum, maximum capacities and whether their event will work in your space. And they want more information, and this is even before we're contacting you. And I'll go through this in detail with you. So how can we increase our leads via online directories and our websites? Remembering that 80% of event planners, they go to Google first, right? So how can you entice an event planner to contact you? Because that's all you really want to do, yeah? You just want to entice them to contact you. You're not asking me to marry you on the first date. Let's just get in contact. So let me ask you a question about your function web page. When you go to your homepage, how easy is it to find the functions tab on your website? I know some venues, it's really kind of hard to find your functions page. And then if you're advertising on directories, are many of you guys on directories, third-party listings? Yeah? Okay, most of you, great. So what I want you to do is have a look at the directories you're listing on and look at your web link. And make sure this goes to your functions page. Now, the reason I say this, imagine I'm an event planner. I've gone to Google, because that's where I go. I've typed in some search keywords. I've found a directory. I've scrolled through the directory. I've found your venue because I like you. I've looked at your images, your capacities and more information, and now I want to get in contact. And I've clicked your web page and you take me to your homepage. You already know I'm interested in functions. Take me to your functions page. Don't lose me at this vital point. Another one I want to talk about is, does your website use we or us a lot? So we language or us language is talking about ourselves. So let me give you an example. At the Hesse Hotel, we pride ourselves on providing exceptional customer service. What you want to do is be using you language, and it would sound kind of something like, at the Hesse Hotel when you hold your event with us, this is the service you can expect. So changing your copy on your website and your proposals, all your marketing material to you language. It's not about us, it's about them, it's about our customers. We want to see images of every single function space. Show me your arrival area, show me your entrance area. And especially important is the image that it is displaying on those venue directories you're listing on. So go and find yourselves and look at that image and ask yourself whether that would entice you to click through to find out more information. Think about when maybe we're on car sales or we're buying a car or we're looking for a hotel or our holiday. It's those photos that entice us to click through, yeah? So make sure your search results photos a killer photo. Your capacity charts, we want minimum, maximum capacities of every single room. And a link to the photo of the room. A lot of the time I see capacity charts on a venue webpage and there's lots of pretty photos on it, but you don't know what room those photos are of. This is what we do on our directory. We've got a capacity chart and just a simple image and a description for each function space. Nice and easy, the event planners can see exactly what room and capacities you're talking about. Does anyone use Canva? Oh, yes. I love Canva. So free software. This is a little something that I put together for you. So there's a bunch of free templates that you can use. Go and check this out. But I just downloaded a stock image of a venue and then I added a filter to it. So you might have some photos that just need a little bit of touching up, yeah, and you don't have the budget to get new photography. Like we do this on social media all the time. Just freshen the image up a little bit. And then I added a little title. The Gordon Room, private boardroom for up to 12 guests. Imagine if you were doing this on your images, on your website. and then also on the images on third-party directories. You're giving the event planners that information straight up at the images that they're looking at, and this is free. I did this in literally 3 minutes. Free software, and you download it and then upload it to your websites and directories. We want floor plans as well, of course. We want a floor plan of each room and each setup style. Imagine if I could access your floor plans that showed me where your windows were, where your drop-down screens, your projectors, where the pillars were, in every single setup style in every single room. To me, this would be the equivalent of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory to a 7-year-old child. Like, this stuff gets us excited. I was talking to one of our trainees the other day. She was looking for a venue in Sydney. And she ended up calling me. She's like, Kim, I've been trawling around venue websites for about an hour. She's got a big conference, right? And she's like, can you just help me out? Because none of them have their floor plans online. She didn't contact them. She contacted us for ideas because the floor plans weren't there. So they're looking for this kind of stuff. Contact details. We want your phone number and your name on your website, an email address and a contact form. So when I talk phone number, I'm talking a direct phone number, not a dial 1 for sales, 2 for marketing. Give us your direct number for the person who's going to help me put that quote together, and a name to ask for, an email address and the form. So you've got all different types of communication methods. Now, I'm venue hunting at the moment for a national award night. There's a venue in Melbourne that I was interested in. I went to their website and I found their functions page and then scrolled down to try and find a function contact because I didn't have one at this venue. No number on the functions page. So then I have to go to the Contact Us tab, put your number on your functions pages, go to Contact Us, and then I have to scroll down Contact Us, and it says, who do you want to contact? I'm like, oh, events team. Drop down, no name, no phone number. All I could do was submit an online form for this quote. So then 2 days later, I get an email. Oh, hi, Kim. I got your form. Do you have an event brief that you can send through? I'm like, yeah, I do. Would have sent that 2 days ago if I had have had your contact details or a phone number I could call from your website. So have a look at your functions page and whether your contact details are on there as well. We're also looking for more info. Remember, this is before we contact you, right? A map, we can all add Google interactive maps. You can jump on Canva and create a map if you want. We want to know about your parking. This is a question that I ask venues a lot of the time. Nearby public transport, attractions. Accommodation, maybe you don't have accommodation at your venue, but you can recommend some hotels nearby. This kind of stuff is really important, and event planners are looking for this as well. And talk to us about your audiovisual. Tell us who your in-house supplier is or what's built into your venue. Social proof. Do you back your claims up with testimonials? So there are companies that run off the back of testimonials. Look at eBay for an example. eBay, we jump online, we buy products from strangers based on the referrals and comments from strangers. We then send those strangers our money and then they send us the product. And sometimes we pay a little bit more, right? Because that seller has a better rating. Or take Airbnb, for example. On our roadshow, we stayed in an Airbnb in Brisbane and I paid more for an Airbnb because they had better results than another one that was close by. So testimonials absolutely work, and pop them up onto your websites and your directories. Now I know by the time you get back to the office, probably like 50 emails have filled your inbox, but what if we made just one of these updates a week? I guarantee that you'll not only increase the amount of your inquiries, but also the quality of your inquiry as well. So let's talk about why some of your online advertising might not be getting great ROI. E-newsletters. Do you guys all send e-newsletters, EDMs, monthly? Anyone doing it weekly? No? Yeah, monthly sort of seems the standard. So a lot of the time in e-newsletters, it's specials, right? Day delegate packages, special rates pop into our inbox all the time. What I want to talk to you about is structuring your e-newsletters so that event planners feel valuable, so that our business feels wanted and we feel safe giving you our business. Making us feel secure is more likely to drive a buying decision rather than a special or a discount. So let me give you a couple of examples of this. I was at an Accord dinner in Melbourne a few weeks ago, and I got talking to another PCO, and she says to me, "Kim, I have to tell you about this venue in Sydney. Now, it's not in the CBD, it's a little bit out. It's not one that you'd think of straight off the bat. Doesn't look that great from the outside, but let me tell you about their service. These guys are amazing. From proposal all the way through, I arrive on site, and as soon as I get there, there's porters with trolleys ready to take my boxes. They take my boxes, they open them, and they start pulling banners up for me." And this is what she's referring to me. Now, I know the exact name of the venue and the salesperson's name. Not once did price come into that conversation. And that's how we're talking about venues. On our roadshow, our venue in Perth, amazing, blew my mind, and I would have no hesitation referring that venue, and I wouldn't even talk about price. I would talk about the amazing service that we received as well. So how can your e-newsletters be different? If everybody's promoting day delegate packages, can you focus on a value add? Maybe you feature a function space, like this gorgeous space here. Feature it with a beautiful photo and maybe a testimonial from someone who's held an event there. To me, that's more valuable in my inbox if I get these little updates from you about maybe a new space or a new idea, some way that I could use your venue. And then I remember that and I save that, rather than a special that I look at and go, "Oh, that expires in a few weeks, delete," because I don't have anything coming up. So it's just an idea, something to think about. Something that we've started doing in our business. We used to have a fairly long e-newsletter and we used to promote specials and things like that. We cut all that and we now do a short video, which is called Ninja News for our event planners, and we do another short video called Venue TV for our venues like you guys, with a hint or tip to help you. So we're helping our audience with a quick short email, and our open rates have increased through the roof. It's all about enticing us to do business with you because you're great at what you do, not because you have a current discount, and that's the kind of business that we all want, right? So this is a question that I get asked all the time. "So Kim, how many leads have I converted?" Now this is great to ask directories where you're listing with them on a commission basis because they track that kind of stuff. But for us and people like A-List Guide and Event Connect, where we send inquiries direct to the venue, I can certainly tell you how many search results you've been in, how many clicks on your page, how many emails you've received, but I can't tell you how many of that you've converted. I kind of relate it to, I guess, advertising on Facebook, right? So if you're going to advertise on Facebook, you put up your image, you put up your title and your text, and then you put it online, and then would you call Facebook a week later and go, "Hey Facebook, I got like 100 clicks on my ad, can you tell me how many I converted?" Same thing. So with online directories, that's the beautiful thing, and that's the beautiful thing about advertising on Facebook and things like that, is because we have the numbers. We know what to do when we have numbers. If I can tell you how many search results and then how many clicks on your page, much like Facebook. So we did an ad for our roadshow. We were promoting and trying to get, more event planners in the room, and the first one, it bombed. I looked at the stats, I'm like, oh, that ad didn't do very well, but I had the numbers and I was able to tweak it. We added a new photo, we added some new text, and we got it working. And it's the same with your directories and the online stuff that you're doing. Now I know it's a pain downloading the stats, but the stats are there and they can totally tell you how to enhance your listings as well. Some other benefits of online advertising that isn't, spoken about all the time is by having your website link on a directory, it automatically increases the Google ranking of your own website. And that's by using what's called a backlink. So Google, sorts websites and decides whether they're relevant or not by the amount of backlinks we have. So the way that this works is, a directory has hundreds of pages, with keywords relevant to the events industry. So if your website's linking to that website, automatically you're pulled up in organic Google rankings. So that's awesome. It's another benefit that I don't think is spoken about enough. Also note that Google indexes your venue page on the directory. So an event planner doesn't have to go through Google, go to a directory and then find your page. Your page is actually coming up on Google. I had this happen, I saw this one venue in Melbourne, they get a bunch of inquiries and they had 3 within an hour and I'm like, hang on a second, I want to investigate this further. So I actually called the people who had submitted the inquiries and I said, hey, it's Kim from Venues to Events. Hope you don't mind, but would you let me know how you found this venue? It's getting lots of inquiries and I'd love to know. And they're like, oh yeah, I just typed corporate conference venue Melbourne, CBD, into Google. So event planners are getting really specific in their searches to get really targeted results, and up came their page on our directory. So keep in mind that your pages are getting indexed. So let me show you, this is our friends Luminaire in Melbourne. So when someone searches for Luminaire as well, up come their website first, but third is their listing on our directory. So it's really important to make sure you're up to date and all of your details are relevant and current on your listings as well. Sometimes, this one here, so the top 2 are ads, but the #1 listing on Google for our friends Telstra Conference Centre here shows up first before their website, so even more important. But this is great too because it means that you own the Google real estate when somebody searches for your name. It means your competitors aren't coming in and grabbing all of the advertising and keywords against you as well. As long as you're up to date, then you're going to own the Google rankings for your names as well. So those few benefits of online advertising, your website ranking increases, your page is indexed, and you're going to own Google for your name. So my advice here would be to pick 1, 2 directories, budget depending, and stick with them as well. And make those tweaks based on the results, because the minute that you deactivate your page, you're going to lose all of that beautiful Google SEO as well. How to handle inbound inquiries that result in bookings. So when an event planner contacts you, we're reaching out to you for help. We're hoping you can solve our problems, right? And a lot of EAs, PAs, these are the problems that are going on for them. They need venue options quickly, their bosses come to them, they've got a meeting next week, and they need venue options and pricing. They've been given a budget and they can't go over it. They already have too much work and now this has been assigned to them, so they're a little stressed. And they don't have anyone helping them. Sorry, I'll go back. They don't have anyone helping them with their events, so they're also looking to you for advice, these people who don't plan events all the time. So I think the more that we can understand our clients' problems and empathise with them, the better chance we have of winning their business and ultimately helping them as well. So what are some things that can go wrong during the inquiry process? Now, I'm certainly not here to tell you how to sell, but I'm just giving you examples of what's happened to us and comments that come out in our training as well. So sound too busy. Do you know that person in the industry who you call and they always just sound rushed and busy and they've just got no time to talk to you when you've picked up the phone to call them? We all know someone like that, right? I can see a few laughs in the back there. I've called some venues, they're like, oh no, sorry, that person's not available, can you call back? What if I don't? What if I find a better venue in that time? Oh no, sorry Kim, that date's taken, and hang up. But what about my future events? You know now that I plan events, could you add me to a database to your mailing list where you're going to show me all those cool features about your venue on a monthly basis? I love this one when they're on the phone. I'm like, oh yeah, can you send me an email? But I called you. I called to have a chat. I want to talk to you about my event. I want to understand whether it's right in your venue. Don't tell me to send you an email when I've picked up the phone to chat to you. You're going to win the business because you're taking the time to have the chat and find out how you can tailor that proposal. And also check the event date. So sometimes our events, the date's not flexible. I've had some venues still send me a proposal for a date the following week. I'm like, what was the point of that? Don't waste your time putting it together. Just stay in touch with me and let's talk about future events. If you get an email inquiry, this is one that I think works really well. Thanks, Kim. I'll respond by X date. So now I know you've got my inquiry, you've got my venue brief. I'm like, oh, cool, they've got it done. I can take that out of my head and I know that someone's responding to it. Just a really quick email. Why not call me back? If I've emailed you, why not call me back? I guarantee you're probably one of the only ones that will. The art of phone conversation is dying these days. Some great questions to ask when you have us on the phone. What are your key decision-making factors? And maybe you don't have to phrase it like that. But every time I speak to a venue, it's really about the date, the timings, the menu, the audio-visual. But no one's really asking, so what are the driving decisions here? What are the buying decisions? How can I incorporate this into my proposal? So an example is one of our trainees, they were looking for a venue in Brisbane. If a venue had have asked them this question, you know, what's important to you? What are your decision-making factors? They would have found out that the only thing that was important to that client was to have all of their 150 guests in one open room, because their assistant the year before had booked a venue with a bar right down the middle. Budget was not an option. They had a flexible date. They just wanted everyone in the one room. What if you knew that and you, as soon as you got off the phone, could send them a photo of your beautiful open function space and then follow up with a quote? Now you're really helping them. When do you need the proposal by? Now I know a lot of you have 24-hour turnaround times, and I'm sure by getting quotes out quickly, you're winning business some of the time too. But by asking this question, you're going to know that. For me, if you send me your quote within 24 hours, I'm not looking at it. I file it into a folder until I get all the quotes back and I'm ready to review all of them together. So by getting that quote to me quickly, if you've missed detail or you haven't answered all my questions, I guess really what's the point? Remember, I'm a details person. And I think too, you know, during the proposal process, you're trying to impress me. So if you're missing detail and you're not answering everything in that proposal, then if I book my event with you, a detail is going to be missed later down the track. So this is a great question to ask because it might buy you more time to tailor that proposal as well. How would you like me to send the information? Is it for a meeting? Great question. Yes, I'd love an image as a separate attachment, or maybe I'd like a floor plan. By asking this question, you can also follow up and say, hey, how did your meeting go? Instead of, I'm just following up to see if you got my proposal. How to write a winning proposal that appeals to an event planner. So yes, we are detail-oriented creatures and we crave organisation. And that's how you have to think when you're writing a proposal to us, right? So I'm going to take you through what my fairy tale proposal would look like from a venue, and I'm bringing in the perspective of our trainees as well. But first I want to point out that proposals is something that comes up in our training all the time, and it's one of the biggest pain points for corporate event planners. They say to me, Kim, how do I compare proposals? They're all different. Everybody sets them out differently. How do you truly compare apples with apples? At the moment, as I said, I'm venue hunting for a national awards night that we're doing. And really, I tell you, like, this part is one of my least favourite parts of my job, is comparing venue proposals and going through this whole process. So let me show you what our ideal proposal would look like. So I guess you know, or maybe you don't, but your proposals don't even make it to the decision makers, to the CEOs, to our clients. This is what I turn your proposals into. And a lot of our trainees and in-house planners are doing the same because they've got meetings. They can't forward your 10, 15, 20-page proposal to the boss. They need to summarise the information. So this is what I send, along with a photo of your function space that you're recommending and the pros and cons for each venue. What I'd love to see first in your proposal is a reverse brief. So a few dot points telling me that you've understood the event. Because I could quickly look at them and go, oh, we just had a bit of a miscommunication on this catering item. That way I can look at it and go, yeah, great, they've understood exactly what I needed and this is what I'm going to find in this proposal. A pricing table. Add it all up for us. Sometimes we get quotes back with here's the venue hire, here's the catering, and it's not added up. And put it at the start. You know it's the first thing we look for. We open the document, go to the end, because that's where everybody's pricing is. Call our bluff. Put it at the start. Be really clear as to whether it's including or excluding GST. Include in your proposal a photo of the function space that is being quoted on. So a lot of proposals, they're set out, they're beautifully templated, and they've got lovely photos, but they're not photos of the spaces that are being recommended for the event you're quoting on. I'd love to see a floor plan in the requested setup in your proposals as well. Now you've got some images, on file you can quickly drop into your proposal. This is super helpful to have everything in one document. Your catering price. Give me a catering price on what I've asked for too. So for example, this dinner that we're managing, 3-course alternate serve. And I've also given the venue my budget. But sometimes they come back saying, oh Kim, I've quoted you on a 3-course with just 1 serve, not alternate serves, because it suits your budget. So now, in order to compare you with the other venues who have quoted on alternate serves, I've either got to call you back or go through your menus and try and find this price. So an idea here would be maybe do 2 pricing sets, like here's what you've asked for, but actually here's what fits within your budget. That would be super helpful. An audio-visual price. So as I said, we're venue hunting, and this is all so relevant to me because there's emails sitting in my inbox right now. AV price, looking for a venue in Sydney. 5-star hotel, so remember, I file all of your proposals until I'm ready to look at them and review them. And then I'm reviewing this 5-star hotel's proposal, and then I see the paragraph that says, for your audiovisual needs, please contact blah on blah. So now I have to wait and contact your AV team when my AV details were already in my venue brief. So now I've got to wait, and you're the one that's holding up me getting my quote to my client because the AV details aren't included in there, or you didn't forward that information to your in-house supplier to quote. This is a really big pain point for event planners, and I'm sure you guys as well, because you're working with external suppliers a lot of the time. So trying to get that information as soon as you get the quote through is really, really important. Now, I'll remember that venue. I know exactly who it is, and they're holding up my process right now. Parking rates include how much it is to park at your venue or maybe the nearby parking facilities as well. Let me know in your quote if you're holding space or not. This is really important as well because we have a time difference. Like when we send the information to the client, we've got to wait for them to come back, and then if they really love your venue and it's taken in the meantime. So let us know whether that's being held or not. In the email that you send with the proposal, limit the attachments. Anything more than 2 to 3 attachments is just kind of scary, and maybe it means that you haven't been able to tailor the proposal to my needs. Personalise the copy. We all know when we're being sent generic sales copy, right? And the shorter the better. Maybe even dot point a few, key points that I need to look at within your proposal. Attach an image of the function space. I love this, when venues send a separate attachment with an image of the function space. This is an interesting one, the file name with your venue. So let me ask you a question. If you were quoting on an event for us, you're creating your quote and you're going to PDF it and save it and send it to me, would you make the file name Venues to Events? Yeah, so there's a few nods, absolutely. But if you do that, imagine this. I'm contacting another 5 venues and now I get quotes back all with Venues to Events as the file name. I'm saving this on my server, so I'm renaming your files. Put your venue name first and then the client's name. It's such a small thing, but it saves us time. Now, I only recently started doing this myself in our business for our event management quotes. Now I send every quote we send, every invoice we send has our name first. So my client doesn't have to rename our files. They can find them easily when they save it to their servers. could you do a video overview? Now let me show you an example here. So I'm talking about the higher priced conferences, the ones you really want to win. This is what I did for an event management proposal. So our event management proposals, they're really detailed, right? Like we've got to detail every single thing that we're going to do for a conference. They're pages and pages. So what I do is I go to Zoom. Anyone using Zoom meeting? Cool. Free software, again, ZOOM, Zoom meeting. And I have a meeting with myself, plug in my headphones, and I screen share and record the meeting, talking my client through my proposal. So to go something like, hey Kelly, it's Kim from Venues to Events. Thanks so much for allowing us to quote on your event. I'm just going to talk you through my proposal. Quick, 2 to 3 minutes. This is this, this is this, this is what I'd recommend here. Love to hear your feedback. So I record this video, I load it to Wistia, free software, that you can password protect. So you can then send your client this video and also attach your proposal, but in the email body, there's this great 2 to 3 minute video. This works wonders. I sent this to a client. They called me up and like, Kim, I got your proposal. That thing is really long. I watched your video. Let's do business. $20,000 conference. All she did was watch my video. She signed my proposal and sent it back to me. Just an idea, but there's free software out there that can help you guys do this. Imagine that if you sent that, maybe that's something that EA or PA is going to forward to their boss so they can watch on the way to the airport or the way to work. They're not going to forward your quote, but they might forward a video. Follow up with a phone call once you've sent the quote. Again, guaranteed you're probably the only one that will. A venue we've just gone to contract with yesterday in Melbourne. So we were searching for CBD-based venues. There are about 8 of them that I went out to. 1 called me back after they sent the proposal. Showtime Events. Amazing. They want our business because they were showing me that they cared, that they understood. Now maybe I didn't have, I hadn't reviewed the proposal when she first contacted me. I'm like, oh, thanks for the follow-up. But the client hasn't reviewed it, I'll get back to you. But I remembered that she'd called and that she wanted to work with us. So following up with a phone call, I think, is a really important point there too. So how can we run a killer site inspection that converts leads? So as an event planner, when I'm coming to you for a site inspection, I'm looking at your venue through the eyes of the conference, through the eyes of my client, and also the guests who are going to be attending. So this is what's come out from our training in how we'd love a site inspection to be run. So I want to ask you, how good are your pre-meeting details? Do I have a calendar request with the meeting? Do I have your mobile number in case anything changes on the day? Do I know where to park? Do I know how to get there? So for people who come to meet at our office at Venues to Events, we have this 1-page PDF that we created once with a Google map, a photo of the outside of our office, telling them that you can park on the left-hand side of the street on a Tuesday between this time and this time. And everybody who comes to meet with us gets this 1-page document. Easy. If you can arrange a car park, that makes such a difference because guaranteed they're probably doing back-to-back site inspections as well. Greeting on arrival. Now I can only imagine how frustrating this is for you if we're running a little bit late and you're staying there going, oh, I could have been replying to so many emails by now or finished my coffee that's going cold on my desk. But it really does make a difference to see you standing there on arrival, it really does. Coffee. I love to sit down and have a coffee and chat, but before the site inspection, because you can get ideas from this. Ask us what's worked in the past, what hasn't. Talking to us about the event. But make sure you tee this up beforehand to ensure that we've got time to have that coffee before. Another idea I'd like to share with you about coffee is the coffee theory. So we talk about this in sales in our business, and maybe you've heard of it before, but it goes something like this. You're sitting down at a meeting with a prospective client, sales conversation, right? You want your coffee to be finished first before theirs. And the reason is because they have been talking all the time and not drinking their coffee, yet you've been listening and drinking yours. Because people love to talk about themselves, right? If you let them talk about themselves and about their event, then you've got a better chance of winning the business. Goes for site inspections, goes for the first phone call, goes for anything in sales. I mean, I've been to hundreds of site inspections in my time in the industry, and it's amazing some sites you go on where the venue person will just talk all the time and show you all the features of their venue and then let you leave and not know anything about your business. So just think about that coffee theory. It's something that I think about all the time whenever we're going into sales conversations as well. Asking them what's important to see today. Maybe we don't need to see your pool, for example. It's just the conference spaces. Know how to work the screens, the lights and the projectors. There's nothing worse than a venue person going, sorry, I don't know how to work it. Get your text to show you so that all of this stuff can be, pulled down, because that's the kind of things that we'll be asking for on site inspections. Are there any challenges you can help with? So for the EAs, the PAs, remember these guys are doing this on their own. Ask them, is there anything else I can help you with? We have a range of suppliers. Maybe they need flowers, maybe they need theming, maybe they need a photographer. You've probably got a bank of resources that you can help them with. So if you're helping them even before you've won the business, then they're probably going to turn to you because they think you're going to help them with their event throughout it as well. And then follow up on your promised items. So on a site inspection, there's always a few questions maybe that are lingering. So make sure you follow up with that with a quick email so it's on their desk when they get back, if you can, time granted. At the end of the day for us, venue choice is paramount. Like if we choose the wrong venue, we're doing our clients an injustice. But as humans, we buy from people that we like and from people that we trust. So if we can build trust and relationships throughout this process, then we're going to have better chances of winning the business. I guess because event managers, we're inviting you into our team. You're on our team to help us run this event and help create the best results for the clients and ultimately, I guess, the guests that are in the room. So before I go into questions, I wondered if it would be okay if I showed you just 5 quick slides about Venues to Events and our directory. Is that okay? Thanks, guys. So this is us for people who haven't seen our directory before. It will be coming. Oh, yay. So Venues to Events, online directory. As I mentioned, we send inquiries direct to you guys as the venues. So we have an annual fee, $490 plus GST. We'll get you 12 months on our directory plus a listing in issue 2 of the Black Book magazine that's going to come out early next year. We have a bunch of search categories. So as a venue, you select an unlimited amount of search categories depending on where your venue fits in. And a really cool thing is you can actually, in your search results, have a different photo displaying for every single search category you're in. So that means if you've got an outdoor space, you can have a photo of your outdoor space show up when an event planner searches for that outdoor space, or training or tiered theatre, for example. So giving the event planners really targeted results. And of course, we've got 7 tabs of information about your venue, tailored around what the event planners are looking for before they contact you. So information about your spaces, there's capacity tables, photo galleries, and of course, all of the other information like Google Maps and things like that that event planners are looking for. So that pretty much brings me to the end of the presentation.